Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Love Storyteller Tarot. My name is Jeanette and this is going to be a love reading for another partial solar eclipse on August the 11th 2018 in the archetype of Leo, or star sign Leo. This is the third one. Usually they come in pairs, your solar and your lunar. Which obviously check out those readings if you haven't, because they are for 6-month cycles, as this one will be. It is rare to get a third one, but it's here and for a reason. So I didn't watch that one all the way through. The first one was in Cancer, I think that was the partial solar eclipse. So what happened on the 12th of July, I think it was, that was more intense. This isn't going to be as intense as that one, or hopefully it's not going to be, because this is the card that jumped out. So whilst I was preparing and getting the reading ready, but yeah, who knows. We do have that Mercury retrograde, which started on the 26th of July, and which actually it's the 25th today, so it would be tomorrow that it stations to go, retrograde, and that's in Leo also. So very much this archetypal energy of Leo. Leo is the fire, fire, passion, so much yellow, so it's about confidence, but it's a quiet confidence, even though stereotyping, but even though Leos tend to like the limelight, a lot of Leos, probably famous, that sort of thing, like the limelight, but that's generalizing. But yeah, this card, like strength, it's all about your inner strength, your inner confidence, where your love lives are concerned. So it's about not being like brutal or harsh, or it's about being soft and gentle. You can still deliver the same message, but in a more gentler, compassionate way. I mean, it's like being assertive, isn't it? And but in a loving way, not in an aggressive way. But yeah, it's about not being brutal. And it's like that inner strength is like seeing people's faults and then like being tolerant of them, and their imperfections, that sort of thing. And because none of us are perfect, none of us are. We all have wounds, we all have baggage, as you call it, from your past. So it's it's to understand another. Obviously I'm not talking about abusive relationships where there's violence and that sort of thing. That's a totally different scenario. But where people are human, they're going to make mistakes, and it's about kindness and forgiving, or yourself. These energies work either way. It's either you or it's the other person, whether male or female, it doesn't matter. Same-sex couples, that we all have the male and the female within us, and same-sex couples, there'll be a dominant female and a dominant male, and vice versa with the thingy. So I think around this time, coming through those, the solar eclipse in July and the lunar eclipse, which is coming up now on the 27th, which is a major one. It's that blood one. It's that rare one of 150 years, and it's an Aquarius, which whatever I said in that reading. So, but yeah, this Mercury retrograde is going to actually be dominating this eclipse, really. So it has its own power and cycle. So again, Mercury is the messenger. So the messenger is about communication. So how are we going to be communicating? We've got to communicate with gentleness, gentle strength. You know, you've got the affinity number here, which is you know, very spiritual. So this lady is very spiritual, and understanding and compassionate towards others, or to your partner, or, you know, if you just started dating someone and maybe things have gone wrong, or were maybe going wrong, because time frames are difficult, around communication, around this Mercury retrograde. So there's been, or there might be, misunderstandings, you know, and then that taps into your own wounds. And you know, I've been feeling it. Right now it's the 25th of July, so 2 more days, and this full moon is coming, and I've been feeling this probably for the last week, because it's in my Aquarius, is in my moon sign, and oh, my emotions, and up and down, and that sort of thing. So you know, because there are things that need healing, and even though you think, yes, you have dealt with certain things, but it could be another layer or a different aspect of it. So we're always in that process, and it's about being gentle with yourself and being loving and compassionate with yourself. It's not always towards another. If you know, if you're single, or if you're in a marriage or a long-term partnership, around this time it will be about being very grounded, because fire is like boom, which brings me to this card that you know, just jumped out when I was preparing for this reading, which is all about unexpected events. So unexpected events, Mercury retrograde, that can cover people returning, so a sudden shock, maybe something that you thought had been over for a long time. And I don't get into, for those that you have watched for a long time, I don't get into labeling, oh, this is this, or, you know, that this is, I don't know, whatever. You've got to be open to what the situation is, and we all have, it's an experience. You're having an experience with another person, and everybody has a soul. So, and yeah, you have soulmates, and you have soul contracts with those soulmates in different ways. It can be a reason, a season, a lifetime. You just don't know, and you don't know how you'll affect somebody else, or how somebody else affects you in your personal growth and your spiritual growth. But yeah, this card fell out, so it's like a warning or a sudden shock, or you know, this is fate, this is the heavens. So it could be that heaven or the fates are intervening if you're on the wrong path and you need to be on the right path, or the other person, because sometimes it's not about you. It'll either resonate with you or not, or you'll be thinking it's the other person. And sometimes you're ready and the other person isn't, you know, for a situation to occur. But yeah, this can be a sudden move, something shocking. So maybe after these, you know, 2 eclipses, maybe something's revealed around this 11th of August, around that period of time. But it will show itself. Maybe there becomes, you know, because this is enlightenment, it's got the crown on the top, which is, you know, your higher self, or your spiritual self, or whatever you want to call it. But this is about a foundation. Usually something happens, and that can even be a sudden house move, you know, having to move suddenly. But it's usually something that a value, a belief, or a situation has been built on something that really the foundation wasn't stable enough for it to go all the way, is what they're saying. So we'll see how that's going to play out. I think I will put it back into the pack, but upright, it did fall out upright, so I'm going to put it back in upright, and we'll see with the other tarot cards what. Now I do want to see what Archangel Michael wants to say this time, rather than looking at the dynamics of the relationships and that. Thank you to all of those who do subscribe and watch my videos and share and like and comment. I really do appreciate it. It lets me know that, you know, we're connecting, that this means something. I do have an idea of what I'm going to be doing next, but I'm in the process of putting that all together. So please subscribe, and then you'll know when the other videos come out. You know, it's about building communities, like-minded communities. So I do appreciate it. Archangel Michael, please, what is the most important message that you have for us for this solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, new moon again, you see? So it's something's coming to completion on that 27th of July, and then when we go into this new moon, fresh beginnings, new starts, you know, wiping that slate clean. So what is the most important message for this new moon solar eclipse in Leo, August 11th? Okay, so this is working with the Tower card, and I've just put it back in now, but Archangel Michael is saying, you know, and maybe that's why the Tower card jumped out. They're saying it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. So whatever that situation is for you, they're saying you will have the strength, or you do have the strength if it's already happening or has been happening for you. You do have the strength, that inner confidence to move forward where your love lives are concerned. So for maybe some of you, or for the other person that maybe it's involved with, there may be that sudden move, because the universe with the Tower card, I don't know where I put it now, the Tower card is playing its part in this reading. So, but they're saying, you know, it's time. But at the end of the day, these are general readings, and only you know everything, literally everything that's going on in your life, and the signs that you've been getting and the messages. And I just want to say something about signs. You know, it's something I learnt, because we get signs to do with fate, and we get signs to do with destiny. And we have to learn and discern how to read the signs symbolically as to what's going on. And, you know, we can be redirected, which is the trickery, we call it the trickster. But we still get signs, and that leads us back down a path of fate, because there's something we haven't quite learnt yet, or understood yet. And, you know, and yes, you'll get synchronicity, you'll get serendipity. It's like, oh my goodness, everything was aligned, everything happened, and then whoosh, it's all turned up pear-shaped, you know. And it's like trying not to get caught up in the disappointment of it, because there is some lesson to learn that then gets you back on the right track. So, you know, you can get all the signs and the coincidences of meeting somebody, and all this, you feel everything's aligned, and then you keep seeing them, etc. But you have to discern. You have to bring in facts of reality of the situation and your life where it is now, because past lives will play a part in these soulmate reunions and meetings. You know, because you've had past lives with these people. But if you had a past life with them and you were married or lovers with them then, and then this lifetime you meet them and they're married, they've got a ring on their finger, even though it's so intense, you know, you've got to bring that in, justice in, and it's a no-no. They're already taken, and you know, that's not for you. That's not meant for you. It's just about a lesson that you're needing to learn. But for some of you, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Now, that could be to do with anything. It's for you to discern what that is. But around this solar eclipse, it's partial solar, so we're still going to get the light. It doesn't cover, the moon doesn't cover the sun completely, so, you know, there's still going to be light. And you've got that strength to do what it is you need to do. But let's go a bit deeper into the reading. Let's just see what Archangel Michael actually does say about this situation, or maybe more what the situations could be, if I can find it. It's so Archangel Michael has heard your pleas for help, and his answer comes to you through this card. Leave! Exclamation mark. You've been enduring a toxic situation for far too long, investing time and energy that isn't yielding healthful results. This experience isn't beneficial for you or the other people involved. You don't need to remain in negativity, beloved one. Walk away without guilt or hesitation. The angels will assist you to ensure that the parting is as harmonious as possible, which is why it's this card, the Strength card, and to do it without brute force, etc., to do it with love and compassion. And I know sometimes that's hard to achieve, but Archangel Michael is saying that they will help you, or the angels will, and Archangel Michael will shield and protect you, following your inner guidance every step of the way, and the transition will be smooth. It's saying possible specific meanings. Apply for a new job, so if it's to do with that. Detoxing from alcohol, cigarettes or other drugs, so obviously addictions that may be affecting your love life. I'm sure the romance angels will tell us. See a relationship counsellor to come out of codependency into interdependency. Speak honestly to someone with whom you're having difficulties. So, and at this time, this will be the right time, because you'll have that strength, that inner strength to do that. Eat a more healthful diet. Get a second medical opinion for those of you that are poorly. Consult a divorce attorney. Move to a new home, which is probably why the Tower card came out, because that would definitely suggest that. Make sure that your environment is free of chemicals and toxins. So it could be, because we're reading for so many people, that could be for any situation, but this is the energy that you're going to be working with, like a heads up for you. So let's go on and see what the tarot cards want to say, and see if this, because remember that Mercury retrograde as well. So maybe for some who might need mediation, it's probably better to get a counsellor and then like a third party, so that it stays calm, so that you can sort through it and get the support that you need. What are the most important messages, please? What do we need to know about our love life around this new moon? And it's a great time to do it because it's a new moon, fresh start, new beginning. Well, Mercury means things, may be delayed, and cards tend to be in reversed a lot when this starts to happen. So we do have the High Priestess in reverse. So that's either not listening to yourself or not listening to your guides, like advice being given to you. It could be that, out of fear or out of any addictions, that you're not able to connect to your knowingness, because this is very intuitive. The High Priestess upright is all about knowing, she just knows about a situation. But yeah, in reverse, it's either somebody, because this can represent the past in this column, either somebody that who makes out that they're a High Priestess, but maybe has been giving you the wrong advice, or for some it means that you're not connected to that part of yourself. And like I was saying earlier about serendipitous moment, those chance meetings, and the signs that could be that they were more to do with fate than they were destiny, because upright, she's very aware of what's going on and very tuned in and aligned, even though she might not share those messages. So in reverse, maybe in the past for some of you. And it's to do with, well, for some, this reading, even though it's a love reading, it will be to do with work, because we've got the 3 of coins in reverse, which upright is about, you know, collaborating with somebody or a team of people to get what you need. But then it could also come back to, you know, maybe seeing a counsellor. That, like I said, that 3, that mediation, if there's issues, or maybe issues around this time, because for some it will be for you to work through, some it will be time to leave that situation completely, and for others, you know, it might be to do with something completely different. But this in reverse, because it's the work card, it's getting to work, it's doing something about a situation, and, you know, reaching out for help and getting the support that you need. So, but in reverse, it's showing that it isn't. There's a split, like there's not teamwork going on, and that can be to do with false information. I'm getting false information, or there has been false information that, I don't know, maybe has led you down you know, the wrong path, whatever that situation is. And then we get, you know, we get the Tower come back up again. This was the one that jumped out. So definitely not listening to your, because they're major arcanas, these 2, not listening to yourself, or to someone else that maybe has given you advice, or somebody that may have given you advice in the past gave you the wrong advice. So you need to be aware of that also, because it is in reverse. And now there you go, we've got the consequences of that. But, you know, things can be changed around. We will go deeper to see what the solution is to that. But yeah, like I said, so this is more into the future, but it's the present that you always focus on in a reading, and to see where your power is and what you can do about a situation, because this is energy, and if you take the steps you need to take, then it might be that this doesn't show up at all, or it might be, you know, the universe, and something needs to be shaken up. That Mercury retrograde, that revisiting, re-looking at a situation or a relationship or a person, and it doesn't always have to be in a negative way. It's something that needs to be cleared away, so that something fresh and a new beginning can you know, be born. So, but yeah, they are not coming together and collaborating and being part of a team. You get in the Tower. You get in the Tower. Yeah, because it's all around justice. So, like I said, it does feel, because we've got major arcanas coming out, it does feel like we're getting the universe stepping in for some reason. And like with Mercury retrograde, like I've said before, you know, it's that film, The Adjustment Bureau, and, you know, the little book, and you see the little red triangle thing in the paths that you're going down. You know, and during a Mercury retrograde, it's like your angels and heaven have to reorganize the furniture because of the decisions that you've made maybe weren't the right ones for you, and now, or the other person, remember, it could be the other person, and now it's like, okay, well, they, you know, free will, they've all made their choices, and now that's why there's, what is it, 4 a year, so every 3 months really, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is, yeah. So it's to slow things down, with this Mars retrograde as well, not to be impulsive and to act on maybe instincts, because this is about instincts that weren't right. So, you know, that energy can make you feel that way, that Mars retrograde, and no coincidence that you've got the Saturn, you've got the Pluto, I can't name them all, but, you know, you've got a lot of fate and the stars playing its part, like a big shake-ups for people that, you know, are maybe in relationships that need to come to an end, and, you know, their soulmate is waiting for them, but obviously it can't be together because they're still with somebody else. All sorts of scenarios, but yeah, this is all about justice and you know, something balancing out, and it can be quite a karmic card. So she comes with the sword of truth and the scales. Only the truth will set you free, and only the truth will balance these scales back out. And she excuse me, she is upright, and so this is saying justice will prevail, whatever this situation is. Maybe because maybe not to trust so much at this time or around this time, or you haven't been the High Priestess, which is all about knowing. Maybe because the justice is all about facts. Maybe you need to like get the facts. There's something about a past lives, lots of past lives, and that intense connection, and feeling overwhelmed by these feelings. So it'd be interesting to know that full moon on Friday, what that's going to bring up for people. But yeah, it's very intense, and maybe you've got to go to the facts of the reality of real life and situation, because that's where you're going to find justice, really. Knowing something isn't enough sometimes, because she's got the purple there, which is very, very spiritual, but there, you know, it is like a cloth. You can see a little bit, a bit like the partial eclipse. You can see a bit, but you can't see all of it, and we can't see what's behind there. There could be anything behind there, and you've got the two pillars of you know, of very, very similar cards. The two pillars, and you've got the crests on the moon on each of them. So, but justice will have its say over the facts. Will have its say. The facts will have its say over the knowingness. There we go. Mercury retrograde. I tried to do this earlier, this reading. I plugged in the charger and everything to recharge the battery, and I thought it was done, and it turned green, but it hadn't. I had to wait again. But anyway, there you go. So it's at play already. But justice will have its say. Heart of the matter. How are we doing? I do go on sometimes and I forget where we are, what time we are. So the heart of the matter is the Ten of Wands, which is very much about oppression, feeling burdened, and things getting on top of you, and feeling overwhelmed, and oh, what the heck, what, you know, what can I do, you know? It's just like a heavy burden on your shoulders, because, you know, he's carrying it or she's carrying it on their shoulders, and it's on the left side, which is the feminine side. So there's something that's at the heart of the matter that's just become too much of a burden, and hence why Archangel Michael really is saying it's time to leave this unhealthy situation, or certainly a time to challenge and re-look at it, revisit, you know, but justice is saying it's going to be okay. Oh, and then you get the new beginning. So you get a fresh new beginning without feeling this, you know, this burden. So that, because that's in the here and now. So whether it's a work situation that's affecting your love life, or your partner, you know, they feel burdened to do with a job. If you're in a marriage, they feel burdened. So maybe they have to leave this unhealthy situation, because it's the creative card. It comes under businesses. So maybe for the self-employed or projects, you know, and maybe it's that, it did mention a job, maybe that's the unhealthy situation, because it is what's at the heart of the matter, and that then is affecting, you know, your work. It's affecting your work because it's in reverse. Maybe a lack of team spirit, or a lack of support in your work. But yeah, very much a heavy burden, but something's going to sort itself out, because we've got a new beginning, we've got the Fool, and it's upright, and this is like taking a leap of faith. So whether it's you or your partner, will be taking a leap of faith, and maybe to do with a creative project or an enterprise, or a work situation. And maybe, you know, it is a sudden move, but it's what's meant to be. It's what's meant to be. It's what's needed. It brings this lightness after this heaviness. It brings this lightness, and this is in the future. So after this new moon, you know, you're able to move forward with hope and faith. Not hope, faith. Faith is about the unknown. Hope is about the situation and hoping for a certain outcome. But faith is about the unknown, not knowing where the hell you're going, not knowing where it's going to take you. But it's like taking that leap of faith. But you know, Toto, the dog, is your intuition. And in the past, okay, it wasn't working for you or for the other person in this situation, but you do get to go, you know, start again, a new beginning. So this is a whole new beginning of a new cycle, and rekindling your connection to spirit, and moving your life forward. But it will require, you know, and it's in a sense feeling, you know, connected to the universe again, really. So major arcana cards here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. So the death card, you know, it's that scorpion, it's the Scorpio, and it's that deep rooted emotional stuff that lies at the bottom, that needs to come up and be healed, because it's a death. But it's a death for a new beginning, transformation, completely. You know, you're going to be a totally different person, either leaving this relationship, you do have the strength, or transforming, because it's very much about transforming, and this is of your own choice. You know, the death card is transformation, making a choice because you've made the choice. The Tower card comes in when you're wavering or not doing what you're meant to be doing, and comes in and can kick ass. But that's maybe in the past, but also in the future. It depends how you read the cards. But yeah, definitely, you know, an ending, ready for a new beginning. Oh, and we got the Strength card come up. So definitely, astrologically, the fates, the gods, are having their say. They're shaking things up to do with love, you know, and this transformation brings you into your own power, your own strength, and your own confidence. So we've got it here, and then it shows up here, Leo the lion, you know, and the affinity, like I said, is that, well, just forever. But it's very spiritual card, and you do have the strength to transform a situation. Oh, and we've got the Knight of Wands. Now, I'm not surprised he's shown up, male or female, it doesn't matter. It's just the energy of the Knight of Wands. It's the energy you need to move forward, you know, and to have the courage to take a risk. Like we said, you need this energy. You need to tap into the Knight of Wands, and yes, it can represent a character under the fire signs. We've already got Leo showing up here. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. It could be either one of them, Sun, Moon, and Rising, but it's more personal. It's you can get into the army yourself and get on the horse. It's movement, you know, it's movement and moving away. And again, this very much says about a residency, a change of residency. Gonna have to have a leap of faith for some of you to actually, you know, make that move. We'll get some more cards out and go a bit deeper, but we do have the Emperor at the bottom, and this is all about leadership, and very much the father figure. A strong husband plays the part of a strong husband, or strong partner, or again it can be a female, but just a very strong person that, you know, has got their act together, because it's upright. And as to why this is happening, so for some of you this is going to be happening, shaking things up, because you're not with the right partner, and to get to the right partner you've been sending your prayers out, etc. Then this has got to happen, you know, for this to happen, for you to meet this person. So right, let's get some fortune cards on top, and let's see, go a little bit deeper. Well, so there is some news coming. This is like a message of some kind, and it's usually from somebody who's, you know, gentle in their approach, and you know, it moves things on. This news, this awaited news, so it feels like something you've been waiting on something. So even if this is to do with legal matters that's been going on and going on and going on, justice is going to prevail. So that can be, you know, to do with courts, custody, anything like that. It represents, but to have fairness and balance. So there is some news coming. But you need to discern what this news is, and it's been a long time coming. It's that you've been waiting for. This can be like a knight in shining armor. This card can be like a knight in shining armor, but it doesn't always have to be about love. It's just somebody that's coming in to help you, or to help a situation. Heart of the matter, please, Spirit. Most important message. Oh, there we go. So we've got a man. So this is confirming when I was talking about a partner, or a potential partner, somebody that you haven't even met. Maybe this is the reason you haven't met him. But it's the man that's working hard, I don't know, to pay the bills or to get this project done, something completed, because it's a 10, so that you can go back down to 1, 0, 1, and to be able to, you know, feel lighter about a situation and move forward. But it's definitely the masculine energy that's showing up here. That, you know, this is what I call the people pleaser card, where that's why you get the burdens, because you're not able to say no. Because sometimes with the strength card, you know, are you giving too much and the other person isn't? You know, is it balanced, or has it broke down because of that? Or is the other person, is the masculine giving and not getting anything in return? But he's the one that's feeling burdened and pressured, either under a work situation or not being able to say no and delegate. As to why that's there. He's a people pleaser. He wants to please people. You know, he's probably a good guy because of this card here. Maybe for some of you, you've taken the wrong advice about a situation concerning him, because he's at the heart of the matter. We'll get a few more cards out on him. So in and around the environment. See, this is all about thoughts, storminess, but it's more the mental energy. So remember the Mercury retrograde in Leo. So to do with, because that's about collaboration, so to do with work, joining forces with somebody. So maybe somebody needs to change, to get these cards upright, to get rid of the burden, to get the High Priestess in this card upright. You need to change your perspective on something. You need to look at something differently, and this Mercury retrograde will help you with that, because that's all about thoughts. Whether it's him, because it's very much down the centre. Well, this is about investments. The fish is usually to do with money. Well, it is to do with money. To do with money, to do with investments. This card can come up and show up as property. So does this chappie, is it to do with property? Is it to do with investing in property? Is that to do with his work and feels burden about a project, about completing a project? Is there pressure on him that is affecting his life, his home situation, and not able to delegate? Because if he was able to, that would be turned upright, and it would be teamwork. So because this guy underneath can be stubborn, can be very stubborn sometimes, and it's my way or the highway sort of attitude. So possibly that, because this is very much about investment, you know, and maybe something suddenly happens, and that's to do with money. So that could be loss of money, but it's to do with investment, and that's what's going to be happening. So yeah, this is about a trip. So either a trip or a journey that was taken. That can mean even over waters, to do with work, to rebalance something, to do with, or he's having to go on a work trip, or will be for some having to go on a work trip to balance something, to get justice, because this is all about the cargo, your ships come in, your treasures come in, and it's next to him. So be careful of your thoughts around a work situation if you're coupled up, and maybe, you know, your partner's having to go somewhere to make something right. But all this new beginning, you know, you're gonna have to take a leap of faith to get this new beginning, because you got the Sun card on there, which brings clarity. which brings clarity. Maybe you get the clarity and then you're able to think, well, sod it, I'm just going for it. I've had enough. I'm fed up with this pressure. It's, you know, it's just making my head blow, trying to bloody think things through and think things out all the time. I've just had enough. And to do with money, but this is optimistic outcomes, a blessing, and it brings clarity and joy, but you need to be the fool. You need to be taking a risk, or he needs to be taking a risk to solve this situation. He's coming up as the emperor, because the emperor overrides the King of Wands, but he is a risk taker. That's the energy you need, a risk taker. So the heart, which is connected with love, to do with love, is on the Death card. So that can be death of a situation, because the first card we had, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. So for some, discern what is right for you. For some, that it's come to its completion, and for others it's going to transform, you know, but you have to have an ending. Something has to end, an attitude has to end, or an unhealthy pattern has to end. So it's not toxic for there to be transformation, but it looks like that this person is willing to get to the core of it, to get to the, you know, real root of the problem, so that fresh beginning can happen, or that's been happening for some in the past, and for some, you know, news is awaited for a long time, because it's the past. That maybe for some of you have to take a trip to this love, to see this. But this is definitely a love relationship, but can also be business. So for those of you that do businesses together with your partner, is what they're saying. But we'll get some more cards out on him. Oh my goodness, this is a lovely combination. This, and especially with the Strength card, you know, this is the Mountain. This is something rock solid. You know, you can't move this thing. It's rock solid. It's grounded, and you've really got to be in your compassionate side. Be forgiving of people's faults and imperfections. Be tolerant of what's going on, maybe for him, the masculine. But this is your strength. This is your strength. You know, the Mountain is the peak. It reaches up to the, you know, the divine, and this is a very strong relationship, and can also be with a foreign partner, because we've got the, so either they're foreign and living in your country, but they're like from abroad, or they are abroad at the moment, and that could be causing problems. But yeah, this is a very this person is rock solid, maybe for something that you're going through or will be going through. You do have the strength to transform this situation, because those two together are very powerful. And underneath him, this can be a foreign person, somebody who's away, abroad, or they live in your country and abroad. But there does say, so that way it's okay. So it was strong, maybe it was strong, and maybe it isn't so much now because there's something that's happened, but because we've got the whip here. This means there's big obstacles to overcome with the whip. And either it's this energy that can represent the Mars, that is sabotaging something, or you know, it's a bit rash, a bit risque, but there are some big obstacles to overcome to get what it is that you're wanting, which is a strong partner, and the lady is at the bottom. So the feminine's in the picture, the masculine's in the picture, but this is definitely something that's, she's wanting this. She wants somebody who's a leader, somebody who's strong, somebody who can be there for her. The feminine wants somebody who's strong, who's a good husband, a good father figure, somebody who can be there for her, someone to be a shoulder for her to lean on, not always the other way around, is as to what's that's about, I believe. Okay, let's get some clarification on the masculine that's at the heart of the matter, and the Ten of Wands. Let's take a deeper look as to what's going on there. For the most important messages, please. Please show us clarity. Oh, one's come out. Two more. Okay, let's see what this one is. Oh, lovely. The Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning for this person. A new beginning, something that brings, you know, finances, better finances, something more solid, something more concrete, something more stable. Because remember, that wasn't, maybe something, a risk that was taken, but it didn't pay off or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is a new beginning. This is like a new job. This can be a new job. He clearly has reached his limits with this situation. But yeah, a new job, a new beginning, new pathway opening up, and something from this one coin, something flowers from it, something brings abundance and healthier many situations. But it is the Ace, so it's just the beginning, so for some it could be, I don't know, for some it could be that, you know, the woman has been the leader and maybe earning the finances for some of you, because of a situation with your partner, and you know, it's time for change. Oh yes, see, we've got the Star card, which is hope. This is hope for the future and a fresh start. But there is gonna, because we've got the Sun on here, there is going to need to be a risk taken, and there are going to be obstacles to overcome. Of course there is, you know, if it's to do with another country or two people living in different countries, then of course there's going to be obstacles, either to get together because of job situations, if you're single or just started, you've just met somebody, but it's growing. But they're saying, you know, the heart and the mountain is something that's rock solid. But there is this is how he will feel, a new beginning and a fresh start that gives him hope, maybe enough hope to take the leap of faith in the direction that he wishes to go. But yeah, there's, because this also comes under the Strength card, because these are like the 9 before the 10 is like something's wounded him, something exhausted him, but maybe it was a test of some kind, or it'll be a test that he's going through. I don't know, to defend himself, because I said that's a people pleasing card, but you know, you do have the Star card there, which is there's light at the end of the tunnel for the masculine there. Very much light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see what, let's get some cards out on this, the Knight of Wands and the, can we have have clarity on the Knight of Wands and the Whip, please, to give some more insight. Many different scenarios could be played out, but we'll do our best. So yeah, once again we've got the Strength card come up again. It was the energy, and then it came into the reading itself, and it's you do have the strength to deal with this person. If this person's younger than you, you know, for those that are younger and maybe up to the age of 35, that possibly there's been arguments, or there's always challenges with this person, hence the toxic situation. Again, it's confirming you do have the strength to sort this situation out, but it's not going to be easy. But you've got to be, you know, you've got to draw on the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. She's all about, because you've got the coin there, he's got his coin there. She's all about practicality. And when I was starting this reading, started to do this reading, I looked up and saw a van go past, and it had practical on it. And there you go. She's in the reading, and she signs. I said something about signing. Now that could be sign language as in that, or signing something. I don't know if that's a message or not. But yeah, she's very much the superwoman, you know, the superwoman. She's able to juggle many balls and many things, and very, very grounded. Your Capricorn, your Virgo, your Taurus, Sun, Moon or Rising. But that's the energy you've got to draw in that will support strength. Oh, and there's a couple. So there's a couple. So this could be somebody's child. That scenario could even come into it, but not a child, but like a teenager. So that could come into it if there's problems there. And maybe the Strength card is that you're more powerful together as a couple, because this is a couple here. You're more powerful together, and he is holding the coin, so he could come under the King of Pentacles, so he could come under your Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy also. But it's all about making money. The Ace of Coins is an idea about making money, because maybe it has been a loss, or there's going to be a loss financially, but maybe you're more powerful together as a couple than you would be apart. That's what gives you the strength, maybe, is what they're saying on that one. Okay, what time do we have left? I can't see properly. So let me just stand up. I need to get one of those. Oh goodness, it's nearly time. Let's have a look then, see what the Romance Angels want to say to confirm this reading. What's the most important message, please, Romance Angels? Honeymoon. So there is a honeymoon period for some. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. That can mean the rider and the boat can mean a short, you know, a holiday away, and you've got the mountain there as well. So maybe for some, you know, to get to know each other, you need that space, you need that time, get away from an unhealthy situation and have, you know, get back to the honeymoon stage of your relationship. But there is deception. There's deception around. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So there is deception for those of you that are in a relationship. And I suppose it's you figuring out, because that can be just down to, you know, trying to people please. So then there would be the deception there, because he's not being true to himself. there would be the false mask. Yes, I want to go on holiday, but yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't have the money, or something like, but they wouldn't tell you that they don't have the money, or something like that. It could be something as simple as that, but one or both partners are not being true to themselves, or you find out that someone's been deceptive when you go on a break or something. But they're saying new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So for those of you that has happened, then or it could be that there's a reigniting because of the honeymoon card, the new love in the relationship. It will work different ways for different people. Okay, then let's I've run out of time now, so I don't, this goes on for just a few more minutes. I want to see, no, I don't think I'm going to ask the angels. Let's just see this card. Most important message, please, for this reading. Wisdom of the Oracle. TikTok. So you have plenty of time to sort this out. These are new to me, so I'm going to read it. But that's what it basically says. You do have plenty of time to sort it out. You don't need to rush things. Because maybe if you rush things, that Knight of Wands, maybe that's when things go wrong. So let's just have a look, see what the relationship one says. She'll have to do two and put it together. Love, the fulfillment. So love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its seasons, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time for love, to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal, hence the thing on there. Some of you may need the strength to be patient and wait for the right person. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart. In perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So for some of you, maybe it's saying that you do have the strength to wait for the right person. Okay, I'm sensing that's the right time to finish the reading. I hope the messages help. Please like, share and subscribe, because I've run out of time. And please comment, and you know, let's join together and support each other. Okay then, lots of love. Namaste.